share a particular stunt that you did or you have done where you know that, wow, this is like a bit risky. I have to be on my A game for this safety thing.
So there's actually a TV drama that I did, let me see how many years, 4 years ago, called When Duty Calls.
Okay.
There is this last scene where so-called the terrorists in the drama shoot the car that I'm driving, and my car actually fly and then flip and go overturn. So to actually do that, we need to fabricate a ramp, a steel ramp for me to take flight, airtime, like Air Jordan, like zoom.
Yeah.
Then there's a moment of silence. So by the time I come down, the first thing I see, right, is actually a windscreen shatter.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
And welcome to another episode of the KopiBros Show presented by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, for this episode, we have invited very, very special job. I can dare say, or even I don't know this job existed until our producer invited him on. He is Jason Tan. He's actually a stunt driver. Okay, so before we even get into the interview, right, I just want to ask Brandon, do you have any preconceived notion of what a stunt driver is supposed to do before you interview him?
No, I will of course think. No, I didn't even think that stunt drivers are available in Singapore. I didn't even know there's a Singaporean stunt driver before this. I keep thinking that we probably import. Like Singapore standard is like we import the stunt driver somewhere in Hong Kong. It's such a dangerous job. I can't imagine doing this kind of those kind of stunts you see on Hollywood or in shows or in TV. Right? You can't imagine seeing them in Singapore.
Although all of us might have an idea of what a stunt driver is supposed to do, but I think the interview actually revealed a whole lot of other things, like things we didn't expect to know. Like, for example, what is the most difficult thing is actually the cast on scene. You cannot choose. Right, you go there. The television set or the producer, whatever, give you whatever car you have to work with it, right? And then things like, for example, certain places you want to go do a shoot might not be that safe. So what must he do to prepare himself?
Because everybody thought Tokyo Drift was the coolest thing they ever seen, but to find someone right that saw that scene, replicate it right, and make that his lifestyle, make that his career, to be able to do that really on the TV screen itself in his own country. Wow, that's really like a passion dream project come true.
And I think I can speak for Brandon and myself in saying that besides being very passionate about his job, I think Jason also shared a lot of very, very interesting stories that I think none of us would have ever expected, because none of us is in the entertainment industry or much. So I think without further ado, let us get into the episode. Welcome to another episode of the KopiBros Show presented by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, today, we have a very, very special episode because we have with us a high-octane, thrill-packed guest joining us. He's not an everyday driver. He's a professional stunt driver who has wowed crowds across countless shows with jaw-dropping moves and high-speed chases straight out of an action movie. From screeching tires to pulse racing precision driving, he's carved out a name in the adrenaline-fueled world of stunt performances. Taking time out of his action-packed schedule to join us on the podcast, please welcome Singapore's very own stunt driving sensation, Jason Tan.
Hello. Thanks for having me on your Chit Chatter. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jason, for taking time out to speak to us. Before we start, right, I would just like to dive straight into your Instagram account. Our producer told us that your Instagram story recently said something about you did a lot of films. You were a stunt driver for a lot of films, but you only credited for 2 of them on IMDB. So could you share more about what's going on and whether there's a solution to it at the moment?
So actually this IMDB thing, right, I'm also very puzzled. And I asked a few friends and veterans in the industry. So IMDB will use a bot, like a programming bot, to actually search out the different talents and the stunt action director, like for myself, stunt driver, right? They auto search whatever shows that you have done, regardless it's TV drama, movies. So they will sort of credit you by auto insertion into the IMDb. That's one way. Another way to get your IMDb credits, right? So whoever listens to this, you benefit because I did my own research. So IMDB, you need to have an Amazon account.
Oh, okay.
You need an Amazon account. Then you go and register as an IMDB, like register account. Then you can actually add on to whatever, all those directors that actually credit you. And then you fill them up.
Okay.
So there's a way about to go around it. But I see, need to sign up Amazon account. I don't want to do it. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and somehow you probably did so many films to add in all yourself. It's gonna be quite a long thing to do.
It's gonna. I wish I can do that. I would want to do that someday, but I think all this while, thankfully, my clients will come to me, right? Because now got social media, right? I think IMDb has been around for decades. So how people used to get their work previously, even in Hollywood or in Asia, regardless you're an actor or you're a stunt coordinator or stunt action director, right, is through IMDb, and then they serve you, they see your portfolio, how credible you are, then they will contact you. But nowadays got social media. You know, social media, Instagram, and so they see your portfolio, you just put a menu of all the things that you can do. And they will contact you, hopefully.
If you don't mind sharing a bit more, what are some of the projects that you have been working on, Jason?
I think significant one, maybe what I've done is like a Singapore first racing movie, Oversteer. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about it. Oversteer. So we actually filmed that movie few years ago, you know, actually during COVID period in Malaysia.
Okay.
So imagine 5-6 years ago we filmed, right? Just recently, last year only, then it's got screened on the theaters in Singapore as well as Malaysia. That's one. And also I did a bit of stunts together with Ronin Action Group in Money Not Enough, the Jack Neo movie that's last year. So there's this roadblock scene that I need to crash through the roadblock.
Oh my gosh, that's really very cool. That's really very cool.
I saw that.
Regardless how, you know, how idealistic and how people would think stunt drivers will want to do the coolest move on set, right? Which I think most probably later you can ask me, but I think safety is the number one priority. We try to showcase the best move just to boost up the entertainment value for our client, because that's why they hire us, or not they can just ask any driver to do it. But at the same time, we need to be responsible to everybody on set, because you're not there to show off or to showcase your best move, and that's about it. You're there to showcase what you can do, and at the same time, safety of everybody.
That's very, very true, especially because most people always think that stunt driving is just making things look as dangerous as possible, then that's it. But actually, since we're on the topic of stunt driving, right, Jason, will you actually say that you've always been a car enthusiast?
Yes, correct. I mean, you have to love cars to actually, you know, like, I always tell everybody that actually stunt driving, right, is actually the martial arts of car manipulation. Because if you think about it, it's a martial arts because it takes many years to actually learn the accuracy and the precision. You can actually join, you know, defensive driving course and stuff like that. But that one is just a very basic move. And then when you're on set, it's just different. Other than movies, other than TV production, right, I also do live performance shows. For example, we did one for Changi Airport Group and also the Singapore Grand Prix F1 for a period of 3-4 years. We did the opening show for Singapore Airlines. The thing is that when you're performing, the feeling is a bit different. You need to connect with the crowd. So it's very enjoyable. Not saying that TV production is not enjoyable, but the stakes is a bit more difficult, because when you perform in for live performance, right, usually the ground is pretty wide. And as you know, when it comes to performing cars and motorcycles, the bigger the ground, the lesser the error and the easier for us to actually showcase our moves. But on TV and film set is different. The location is really preset by the director. And you need to follow the storyline. Like, I cannot say that, let's say this particular accident scene or this drift scene is supposed to be this narrow junction, we drift right into a single lane. Every move, I know this is difficult move, right? I just tell everybody, can we go to the 4-lane, 8-lane at Tuas? Can you imagine every single scene is in Tuas?
Tuas, yeah.
Yeah, of course, if you let me choose, of course, I want to make things easy for myself.
Yeah.
You just give me one big, like, Changi Airshow ground, and then I will not make any mistakes. But it's not the case, yeah.
Like, this means that your love for cars, right? Do you remember when they first sparked?
It's very cliche. To be honest with you, I love cars from the very beginning. So when I was young, I dabbled with BMX bike. So my life is all about extreme sports.
Oh, wow.
Then, so BMX bike, even until now, I still do lah, but not, now the bone and cartilage are wearing off already. So I'm not so hiong already. But I still maintain whatever I need to, if I need to stunt double or actor. So you see, because TV production is all about stunt doubling talent. For my specialty, I don't deal with fight choreography. I do mostly vehicle stunts. Anything to do with wheels, motorcycles and cars. Obviously, as you go, most guys will want to get a car license.
Yeah.
And I enjoy driving. I think I enjoy behind the steering, being, maneuvering the car and stuff like that. The most cliche thing is how I actually started stunt driving and fall in love with drifting is because of the Hollywood movie Tokyo Drift. And Fast and Furious franchise.
Okay.
Yeah, as cliche as it sounds, right, it's because of the Fast and Furious franchise. But what actually started was after watching the first two, the third installment is actually a Tokyo Drift, right?
Tokyo
Drift is the one that is very intensively underground car racing scene. And prior to that, it has a lot of drifting. I think it's the first series that has a lot of drifting, very iconic drift moves. You can see on my Instagram. We actually reenact the spiral,
the car park slope.
Yeah, car park one. And also, the iconic, the chick magnet one.
Yes. You go the car, they get a number.
Get a number. It's them stereotyping, but I mean, it is what it is. That's what
it's every boy's dream at one more time.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that I think I never reviewed in any of my past interviews that after the movie come out, it was DCDs and stuff like that. So one night after that, I tell myself, I need to learn drifting. I love drifting so much. I keep on watching it. I need to know what it's all about. And I want to be the one, practicing it. The very next day, I go SG come out, search for a drift car and straight away go and confirm it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Decisive.
It's actually not very rational, but drift car is expensive because due to the setup. So I got a very cheap, the bare minimum for you to start going, like starter pack like that, the kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
The moment you started drifting, right, then after that, how do you transition from there, right? I believe there are a lot of people out there who actually share the same passion as you, like they love cars. To the next level, you made it like your
career,
lifestyle,
right?
your career.
Yeah, but it wasn't like that actually. So as I said, I was actually learning to drive my own car, right? I started off competing. So I compete in drift competition in Singapore as well as Malaysia. But everybody know that drift competition, most competition in Singapore, you're not salaried paid lah. And at the time I'm running a business, so not so bad. Then after so many years, I cannot keep on competing. I'm thinking of, is there a way that I can convert this thing into a career? I'm not in Hollywood, I'm not in States. I'm in Singapore, I need to pay the bills. I'm very thankful for my sponsors when I'm competing, giving engine oil, tires, because that is your cost of drifting. I wish I can, they say put food on the table. I wish I can put tires and engine oil on the table. You know what I mean? But I can't. But I must disclaim first, I'm very thankful for the sponsor. After the sponsor can look for me.
So how do you transition from like the sponsors and the competition to deciding like, hey, I want to do this a business, and how do you make the business work?
I start off by giving stunt driving clinics, actually organize it in the turf club. Singapore Turf Club. Okay. Which is, currently Turf Club has got this go-kart track, right?
Yes.
Before the go-kart track is actually, Coach Bay car park, those tour bus car park. They actually ran out to us to run Sunday clinics to teach certain craft and skill, right? The only way to make money out of a craft and skill is if you teach. It's more consistent. I think it's easier to kick off that way first. So coincidentally, after 1 year of running a clinic, a very major TV commercial spot requires a stunt driver. It's like a dream come true for me. It's like almost I ask you to design your dream, and suddenly this director, some more commercial, commercial is very difficult to get from a very big ad agency and then very renowned production house, and the client is also very big. So I did my first commercial for them, drifting in MBS, the right junction of MBS, Bayfront Avenue. So it's the biggest dream. So I'm the first person to actually do that. And also, I think I'm very lucky. Also, the performance, Changi Airport, the air show ground, not air show ground, literally inside Changi Airport. I need insurance to bring my drift car inside. So I also perform there. So these are two iconic things. When people ask me, I always remember.
Like you say martial arts. I still can imagine like you go CC or you go a room to practice. Yeah, how do you practice like your drifting or your
That's
your
a very good question.
skill?
Yeah, you can't, because right now you can't.
Yeah.
Because in Singapore, there is no grounds for you to practice this form of martial arts. You can go Malaysia and learn. You can take up motorsports and do gymkhana and stuff like that. But it will be, I can tell you, because I go through from competition to different genre of this stunt driving. Like, genre, like you have motorsports, you have gymkhana, you have drifting, like, music, you have blues, you have heavy metal, you have classical. Same thing. So in stunt driving, you have different forms. I went through all forms. I can safely tell you, to be a stunt driver, right? Stars have to be super aligned. Even you have all the skills, you are not necessarily hired. So it takes a lot of networking, and also thank God, like progressively, right? I pick up my skills as I go along, slow and steady. So all this is around for the past decade. I'm very appreciative for all those, stunt coordinators that actually, hire me, because Mediacorp, right? TV dramas, right? Mediacorp will not anyhow hire people, because they cannot afford to have accidents on set. So unless they know that you really can do what you deem you can do, sometimes even a video you show them, right? They might not believe it, because they think that the ground that you practice in, like what I mentioned just now, is a very big ground.
Yeah, very different from what they are.
Yeah, I show them I can do drifting on Malaysian track. They are thinking, today I bring you to Jalan Kayu. Will you crash into the people eating prata?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
correct,
it takes a while.
definitely,
So we start small and then slowly, portfolio, I show them bit by bit. It's a painful, broke-ass journey. Yeah, I can tell you that. I think you understand, when it comes to passion, this kind of thing, right? Yeah, it's not easy.
How do you use the momentum from your first job to get even more jobs, and how many jobs you estimate have you done to date?
Oh, okay. Actually, I'm not sure whether there's even a momentum from the first job, but usually, this kind of thing is job attracts job lah. It's like LinkedIn like if you put one portfolio out there, people know you do this, they want to do. So coincidentally, after doing commercial, right? The funny thing is, when I'm doing commercial, I never even think of TV drama need stunt drivers, because I'm so new in this line, right? During that time, retrospective speaking, right? When I'm doing commercial, I thought of just keep on doing commercial only. But I thought the only chance that I can drift is when a creative director, right, thinks of something out of the world for automotive brand or for something. Like I did, over time, I did a lot for Singapore Tourism Board, like STB, where they want to push using Singapore as a filming hub. So there's one recent one I did where there's a spaceship chasing me as I drive the car.
Oh,
but of course the spaceship is virtual production.
The thrill. Oh wow, that's very cool.
For TV dramas in Mediacorp, right, you cannot, very rarely they will employ just a stunt driver to go in. Usually because there's a lot of veterans stunt coordinators and action director. You need to go under them, then they will call you. Like that, if they know your expertise is driving and stunt riding on motorcycles, right? They will call you if there's a scene that is required. They need rigging, stunt. They need also fight choreography. So they engage an action director to actually do action directing for fight choreography and rigging and all the different departments of craft that they require. Then they outsource to us.
Right, we are really very curious, right? Does stunt driving differ in Singapore compared to the other countries?
Not ironically, but I always like to use the word ironically. One of my clients is also Singapore Traffic Police. And also previously, I also draft a bit of tactical driving program for CNB officers, the Central Narcotics Bureau. So I do government jobs like this, but I don't talk about it on social media. Because I cannot video that scene. Like whatever that I'm helping them. Yeah. Like what you say is different. The biggest issue right now we are facing is the amount of road permits that you can. It's not easy to have a location to be booked for this kind of activity.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
So it cannot be passion project. Like imagine what I gather three of my friends. Hey, let's shoot one feature passion film. The passion film is from start until end. I keep drifting. You know what I mean? Cannot. There is no. But if you are Mediacorp, you send it to LTA to do or if you are really a commercial related to STB, it's a project for Singapore Tourism Board because they're pushing Singapore as a tourism hub.
Yeah.
It's all about the backstory. It's all about the purpose and objective. And that kind of reason, right, very easy to get permit.
For some of the passion projects, they can even close off some of the roads for you. But in Singapore, they close off the roads for you. Wow, I don't know. I can't imagine any other reason than if you're working for the government. Like what you said, you're working for STB.
Big companies, I believe MNC, all this, if they can justify the reason of why they let you use the ground, if it's for a bigger purpose or much like a national, in the interest of a nation, of Singapore as a whole, then of course they will let you do it, like, you know what I mean? It's easier to get a permit in Malaysia than here.
100%, 100%. With the rise of like, CGI AI, right? Directors leaning more towards that path instead of actually like coordinating like the
it's a big topic,
Yeah, right. Because AI is such a big thing now. Just now you mentioned, if the spaceship can be AI, then if they can do the stunt driving and do it by AI, don't need get permit, don't need get anything. Like
you are right. I have spoken this kind of thing with some of my friends who's also stuntmen. Because stuntmen and stunt drivers, we have this, I wouldn't say it's a worry, I would say that it's a concern that our jobs might decrease because of virtual production and AI. Judging from the rate the virtual production is going, or AI, right? It might help actually us to get more jobs, but it's just that may not be the kind of drifting or the kind of accident they may be. Because for virtual production, right? Like, for example, let's talk about something in context, like, for example, the spaceship. If you see a spaceship, right, you know the spaceship is virtual production, right?
Yeah.
But if you see a drifting car, the kind of angles, right? I think nowadays human beings, viewers are very smart. They are able to tell, even if Jackie Chan do one backflip or what, they will say, hey, this one Jackie Chan, this one confirm not Jackie Chan. It's like that. You can tell whether it's real life or not, because no matter how smart computer is, right, you cannot get the realistic compared to a person that's really racing, doing a car chase legit. Like, have you seen the movie Baby Driver? Or Baby Driver, right? We have, there's a TV drama that I did 1-2 years ago called Shiro. It's a very intensive car chase and car drifting scene that, for Mediacorp. And if you were to see watch the drama, right, you will know that if you use AI or virtual production to replace, right, it will not be realistic. Green screen, you can tell one. When they use a green screen or virtual production AI to do a guy on fire versus a stuntman that is legitly trained, that is human torch, literally on fire, it's just different. We are not as advanced. Our AI and virtual production, we haven't reached the Hollywood standard of virtual production. Like, for example, Transformer, you see the way they do the AI and virtual production of Transformer. Yeah. How they edit. It looks literally like you see a car in front of you, suddenly just transform. To do that, right? Yeah, to do that is very complex and very, very costly. So another variable is not about whether AI can replace us. It's whether you willing to let the money, right? You want to put in that dollar to do that kind of AI. Whereas you hire me as a stunt driver, you get the real stuff, but I might not charge you as high as the AI artist. Correct. Okay. Well, that
actually makes so much more sense. Yeah, with the AI, actually sometimes it may complement your like the spaceship. Actually, they will give you more jobs. Actually, but actually talking about that, right? Is there any show or stunts car scene there, right? Because you're talking about movies or TV, right? Have you seen any car show or TV show scene or stunt scene that actually you thought, wow, this is incredible stunt work? The ideal scene I hope to do is to, instead of drifting cars, right, I'm thinking of like trailer, Prime Mover. I'm thinking of drifting the Prime Mover, which I actually mentioned before. Wow. Yeah. So it's all about lorry car chase. So instead of only car chasing, right, I want to use other vehicles, just to inject the kind of flavor into our local TV content. Wow, I cannot even imagine how the Prime Mover would even to be. It can be done, but I can just imagine the CG is very high, right? Yeah, correct.
It's training, of course, it's training to perform high risk stunts, but I think you mentioned earlier that there's most importantly, safety has to be on the top of all these stunts. So, can you share a particular stunt that you did or you have done where you know that, wow, this is this is like a bit risky. I have to be on my A game for this safety thing.
So there's actually a TV drama that I did, let me see how many years, 4 years ago, called When Duty Calls. It's actually a TV drama together with Mindef one, like 为国先锋. So it's,
okay.
there is this last scene where so-called the terrorists in the drama shoot the car that I'm driving, and my car actually fly and then flip and go overturn. So to actually do that, we need to fabricate a ramp, a steel ramp for me to take flight airtime, like Air Jordan, like zoom.
Yeah.
Then there's a moment of silence. Moment of silence. So when it come down, right, you can actually see the clip. The BTS is in my social media. So by the time I come down, the first thing I see, right, is actually a windscreen shutter. Then you don't know where it go. You think about it, a car taking off a ramp in this trajectory, and you got cameras all over.
Yeah.
You need to calculate, right? Like, if I throw this, like bowling, like if I roll this ball, where this ball roughly gonna stop? It's a lot of calculation, and I still need to worry about my own safety. You get me? And I still need to think of the angle that I need to flip. Because ramp doesn't mean car flip, right? Doesn't mean the ramp is there. You go up, but the car confirm flip. Sometimes the car will go up and come down. So of course there's a technique. So anyway, after the car flip, the car have to be rest. So the camera guys are very good. So everybody on set works as a team. They say, Jason, don't worry, you just do what you need to do. The cameras are able to capture and follow the motion. Can tell you, right, the way they capture, right, is like as if some Hollywood movie. Like you see the trailer, right, really, that is the one drama, that particular scene, the car flip scene, right, as if like it's like a Hollywood trailer movie.
Oh wow.
Because they literally capture the whole car scratching along the lane. And we did it in town some more.
This is wow. So,
yeah. So, no, but it's a cordon off area behind F1 pit building. So it's actually a cordon off, just nice one stretch of road.
Okay, so out of curiosity, right, because when a car gets smashed like this, right, I would think that it has to be scraped already. So does this mean that normally for this kind of stunt cars, you all have to use that kind of cars that like only left a few years left in the COE or a few months left in the COE kind?
That's a good question. Actually, cars that crash, right, don't even talk about car flip, because sometimes we just do car T-bone accident scene, right? Usually this kind of situation, we use scrap cars. So Mediacorp have a team of, people that settle the logistics and will prepare the scrap car for us. Sometimes, right, when the scrap car arrive, right, you see the car is drivable, everything upholstery sui on. Like you can drive for another 10 years on, but they want you to crash the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, happy.
Happy. You feel like, hey, can I continue to drive this car after this?
So when preparing for such a high stakes stunt, right, what is your mental and physical preparation look like? So do you feel stressed while waiting for the shoot to happen?
Yes. You know what's the worst part about that scene, the scene I told you, Kapi? We're supposed to do that scene 11 plus 12 o'clock noon time. And that period was drizzling all the way, on and off, You just imagine, drizzling, director 讲不然我们拍文戏先，拍the dialogue scene first.
Yeah.
High dialogue scene. Then realize that, drizzle simmer down already. Shook. I can take preparation. Then I go and prepare. Imagine wearing all the guard. Then the drizzle again, 3-4 times this way, When I wear the guard, then director a bit panic already. Because the time 3-4 o'clock. Because all the scene are shot in daylight. We cannot afford to shoot in the orange sunset.
The evening.
Lighting is very important.
Correct.
Panic already. So thank God we managed to shoot at 4:30. You know how tight the time is? 4:30 is set up the cameras again. Very funny. So my stunt coordinator, right, actually told me, this is the run already. You cannot do and then there's no chance of doing again.
Yeah, no NG.
So there's only one
thing.
thing. There's no NG. Dialogue you can NG. Car crash scene, there is no NG one. So I need to go up 一条线上去, right? Take a deep breath, scrap, and then they have to capture. Thank God. Not only they capture the camera guys, the main camera guy capture the scene, I even got good BTS. Even the person taking a BTS also sui one. Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, so have you ever had a moment during a stunt where something unexpected happened and you had to adapt on the spot?
I would say that the most uncontrollable variable is the type of car. Because to be honest, right, drifting and stunt driving, right, the car setup very important. And I'm not talking about auto manual. A lot of people would think that drifting you need to have manual car, right? Yes, preferably manual. But even you're auto, perfectly fine. Car setup, we're not talking about auto or manual. We're talking about car setup in terms of handbrake setup. Whether am I able to slide the car, and whether the car is too intelligent. Modern cars, right? ABS kick in, traction control kick in. It got a mind of your own, It's damn irritating. They got mind. Whatever I tell the fella to do, I say, no, you shouldn't be doing this. AI taking over the world. It's very frustrating for a stunt driver. Yeah.
I can imagine that, especially when you're saying that, right? Like a lot of the cars they give you is like reach a scrap level already.
Yeah.
A lot of the cars is like really, like you say, very like some more often not, it's very jialat. Would they have to go and like pick a better car, or would they have pick a few cars for you to choose from?
Yeah, correct. Talking about picking a few cars, right? Picking a few cars sometimes is a choice decided by either the director or the stunt driver. Give you a very good example. Like 1-2 dramas ago, I wanted a particular car because it fulfills the setup of whatever moves that I'm about to do. It's a Mediacorp production that will be aired in August this year. It's called Perfectly Imperfect. 活出好命来.
Wow.
So, in this scene, one of the actors, his character is, I double the character because his character is to show off whatever car skills that he has. So I actually wanted this car, but the scrapyard don't have this car. So imagine I wanted car A example. The scrapyard only got car B. Then when car B come to me, the action director say, let's try our best. Whatever we can do, we have to use car B. And the worst part is, after using car B, right? After I said okay, right? Then the EP say that the car color not suitable, but the one can settle because EP means money. She got the power to say, okay, let's go and spray. She sprayed the car to another color within 7 days. Yeah. So it's amazing. So it's just an external look only because it was matte black, you see.
Yeah.
So they want something more vibrant. This is uncontrolled variables. Eventually we went to a workshop, set up the car, and fully the car, we are able to do whatever we actually plan to do. I'm very happy for that. Yeah.
That's good. These are the things that are uncontrollable. And for example, you are usually practicing with cars that you yourself like prepare, like tune and got ready for it. And those cars are like, wow, you'll be right at home. But then after you give you a scrap car, then they ask you to do like
exactly.
Stunts. Yeah.
So when I used to compete, like just now I say last time competition days, right?
Yeah.
So during competition days, you always use equipment that is ideally set up on the perfect equipment. When you do for TV production, I mean, you're a stunt driver for TV and movies, right? You can request for the cars, but whatever cars that is passed to you, over the years, I've learned to come up with techniques to actually do all the moves that is not possible in all these cars and make it possible. Because you have to do it. You know what I mean?
No choice. Yeah.
Yeah, it may not be as beautiful as a special setup car, but it still does the job on TV.
Have you had any instance, either you or your stunt team or the people you work with, suppose the take only one take, but somebody screw up, then how like that?
To be honest with you, right, most of our stunt take, right, I don't want to say this because it's going to seem like I'm showing off, but I think my stunt team, I'm very lucky to have all the stuntmen and stunt coordinator, because I think you understand when you fail to plan, right, you plan to fail.
Yeah.
We do a lot of pre-planning. So the essence, right, the secret to good stunt work on set, right, is actually good prep work off set. You get what I mean? So if you prepare well, right, there's nothing for you to fret when you're on set.
Thanks so much, Jason. So before we wrap up, right, we thought we would do something a little different. A quick fire round of stunt driver questions that we are curious about. What car do you drive on a daily, and do you do stunts with
Suzuki Swift? No, I don't do stunts with it.
Wow. Okay. What is the weirdest instruction you have ever received when doing a stunt?
Okay. Can you do your best? Do it the most radical, the most badass move, but do it very safely. At the same time, we only got one take. Basically, you want me to be a magician.
What is the best vehicle you have ever driven for a stunt, and what vehicle is the hardest to do stunts with?
Okay, the best vehicle, the ideal vehicle I hope to get on set is the Nissan Silvia S15, or at least Subaru BRZ. That's the best car, that modern drift car that you can get. The worst car that you can drive on set would be I wouldn't say it's the brand of the car, but I think the worst car is if the car is not set up right. Like you can't slide. And basically you can't show off any move. And basically all the car does is, instead of, I can only do the ostrich move. Yeah, it's damn silly. Yeah.
Everyday life of a stunt driver look like.
Oh, very free, just kidding. So, off set, right? I do my own training. So, like what your previous question, how do I prepare my body mentally and physically, right? So I do a bit of calisthenics as well. And also I do a very basic just to maintain the physical shape because I'm already 40s. So I cannot be not doing anything. But I eat whatever I want. That's the worst part. So I need to maintain the kind of image. Although I'm not a full talent, sometimes I do double. Sometimes I actually talent on set. So although I don't need to have the physical shape, don't need the X factor and stuff like that, I feel that as a respect to the people in the industry, I feel that how also I must turn up looking like a stunt driver. You get what I mean? I don't know how a stunt driver look like, but I feel that I'm trying to think of it as a basic physical form, basic physical shape. Yeah.
Do you have a close call story?
Not really, but I would say that the dangerous stunts are always the car crash. And I think more dangerous than a car crash is actually a car hit. Car hit means to say I actually crashed with my stuntman in front. They literally roll up my windscreen. That's the most nerve-wracking for a stunt driver because you don't want to hit your teammate. And if you do it too slow and if the director don't like your shots, right, you have to do it again. Again means 他要被我撞多一次。He need to get it again on the drama. We actually did a couple of takes, total around 9 takes. Imagine I hit him 9 times rolling out there. Definitely not for me. I would never agree to being hit 9 times by a car. Yeah.
Thank you. Is there a stunt driver that you look up to?
So there is this stunt driver that I actually look up to. So apparently what happened was that he comes to Singapore for stunt shows and stuff like that annually. Then there's one year, okay, listen, there's one year after a photo taking session with him. This is the truth. I will not make this up one. Okay. So he actually turned to me and say, Jason, you didn't credit me for one of the move. He literally told me that. And then I was quite taken aback. You are a renowned Guinness Book of Records stunt driver. You tell me I never credit you. This is not a song. Why I need to credit you? You never patent that move also. It's just that because he made that move popular. I think everybody know the name. If you all go in Google, what I'm trying to say, it's a particular parking maneuver that he made popular. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we have learned a lot from you today, Jason. So thank you so much once again. So before we end, right, can you just share with our audience how they can find you and what upcoming projects they can look forward?
Basically, you can look for me on Facebook, stuntdriver.sg, which is my URL, or my Instagram, stuntdriver.sg also. Currently, there's a TV drama that I'm currently filming together with a veteran actor, Sid Kwang. So I'm a stuntman together with stunt team that does the drama. So I'm very honored to be working with him because he's like a childhood actor that go into hiatus, 35 years never act right. Now come back. The first drama that he act right, I managed to work with him.
Thank you, Jason, so much for your time, and we wish you drive safe but drive fast and thrilling.
Okay, thank you. I'm always safe on the road. On the road, I'm damn slow one. Yeah.